Bridgeside.
What's up, people? It's your boy, Chris the Analyst Ventura here, bringing you another edition of Bridgeside Sports Live, right here in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. And we got the crew, the same crew, Mr. Sports Science, the Godfather, and Mr. Fantasy Guru, Mike Boo.
When did I become the Godfather?
And Mike,
I wore the shirt for
you
one
were
day.
once, and I'm calling you the
Mike just
Godfather.
became the
like
fantasy guru.
I'll take that.
How do you feel about
Yeah, he's
that?
a fantasy guru, no?
He took himself to the
He's
analyst.
got a lot of
No, he's a
championships. I
fantasy-
think he's got much of
I
a...
know he's
I appreciate that, man.
he's a good fantasy. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, he is a quality fantasy player. But tonight we got a great show for you guys. We got a lot of things going on. We got the NBA Finals, which we're going to get into. I don't even want to talk about it for 1 second here right now. But we have the Mets, the Yankees, Mr. Met, Tanaka's troubles lately.
Yeah.
Well, the whole season, really. We got the Stanley Cup playoffs, the finals, which is going on right now. Games tied 1-1. And then we got our question of the night. Tonight's question of the night will be, what is the best rivalry in sports? It doesn't have to be in today. It could be, a historic rivalry. But we want to talk about some rivalries in sports and what we think the best one is, I guess, of all time, right?
Yeah, I think we'll touch a little about ones that have really peaked lately, and then just all-time ones as well.
Right. So we'll get into that. Let us know what you guys think, what your favorite rivalries were, what you think what the best rivalries were, and get back to us. We'll respond. And to kick it off, though, we're going to do a little Stanley Cup Finals. It's on right now. We're at Game 4 in Nashville. It's tied 1-1. What period is it? The first or the second?
End of the first, right now.
End of the first. All right, so let's discuss that a little bit. What do you guys think? I mean, me and Phil last time said that we're going to take Pittsburgh in 6. Right. And
Yeah.
you guys said, one of you said Nashville in 7.
I said Nashville in 7.
I
Right.
think they both
We
said
both said
Nashville.
Nashville.
so-
You both said, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think now? Now it's 2-1, Pittsburgh in the series.
I'm still going to say Nashville in 7.
All right.
I mean, it kind of happened how I thought. I thought Pittsburgh would play well
At home.
and Nashville at home is a machine. That stadium, like we've said before, that arena it just rocks.
Juggernaut.
It's a juggernaut. It's a powder keg. It explodes.
5-1.
5-1 last game. He down 1-0. Came back pretty strong.
That was the most impressive thing to me, is that I felt like if Pittsburgh scored early, they could take the crowd out of the game. But
And they did.
And they did, yeah.
They
were
did.
1-0.
But they responded, and they responded strong. I mean, they really were lights out after that. So that was the most impressive
they
thing
responded
for me.
almost right away, right?
No, the second period.
Okay.
Pittsburgh scored early in the first.
Yeah.
And then
Nashville had 2 goals really close together. That's what I was thinking.
in the
I thought
second
it was
period.
Pittsburgh and Nashville.
They played a really good second period. I mean, look, just looking at these two teams, it's interesting because they're both extremely good at home. They're 2 of 4 teams that lost single-digit games at home during the regular season. Okay, so I'm not. That's why I wasn't even surprised when Pittsburgh went up 2-0.
No, not at all.
And I still believe in Nashville. They came out strong. They won Game 3. They came out strong today. They scored the first goal. Pittsburgh just tied it up. Unbelievable move by Crosby.
Yeah, that was sick.
beautiful.
But these things happen when you're playing against Pittsburgh.
Yep.
You know, you're talking about, Crosby can take over a game and score a goal completely on his own, which is what he just did.
You say this is a must-win tonight for Nashville?
Yes.
Look, it's whoever wins the
first road
game
game.
on the road is going to win this series. If Pittsburgh wins tonight, it's over. I expect Nashville to win this game, and they're going to have to steal one in Pittsburgh.
I will say, though,
Well, they got to win this game, yeah.
you want to say, like I just said, it's almost a must-win for Nashville tonight because you don't want to be down 3-1 going to Pittsburgh. But
I think it's a must-win, yeah.
yeah, but if there's one sport to do it,
It's true.
hockey is the most likely to come back with 3-1. Just statistically speaking,
Yeah.
over the years. Again, I think Nashville's going to win tonight, but we'll see.
It's just interesting too because we're in New York and you talk about the Rangers and they couldn't win a game at home.
That was the opposite. They won a lot of games. They won the most road games
The
of
road
the year.
warriors,
They-
regular season.
They played horrible at home all season, and then even against Ottawa, they started to get back in the series. Then they're at home. Game 6, they lose at home. It's a game that you were expecting MSG was going to be. You don't have to spend too much time on the Rangers. You kind of expected to get it sent back for Game 7,
Yeah.
and they just they were flat. But
that whole series, they were blowing
that's
it.
not a problem with these two teams. They take care of business at home.
We're watching it right now. There's a little rush at the net for Nashville.
They're fun teams to watch, man. They're awesome teams to watch. It's great for hockey. I know Nashville isn't the biggest market, but that arena is creating a cult following almost. Like you turn on Facebook, you turn on social media, and their chants, like it's crazy.
Did they make the playoffs any recent years?
Nashville,
they've
been making the playoffs.
They've been making the
This is
playoffs,
their
right?
first
Getting
finals
Weber was
appearance.
They've been solid.
They traded what?
That's what I mean. You brought up the point
I'm sorry,
that
Subban. They traded
that they
Weber.
came. They showed.
Is that
impressed you that they came back and showed that type of resilience, score 5-1 in that last game?
Yeah.
I think that, even for a young team that they are, I think that it's interesting because they went through the rounds of the playoffs. And when you get to this point, I feel like, you didn't get this far without showing some resiliency throughout the playoffs and throughout the regular season and stuff. So I think that's what I love about the NHL playoffs, the finals especially. It's always a nice matchup because those two teams every year, they earned it.
Yeah, of course.
As opposed to the NBA finals, which is a whole other story. But
the most impressive thing was Nashville. The first round they played Chicago and they swept them.
Yeah, which was an 8 beating a 1. That would
stunning.
never happen probably in any other sport.
No, to get swept, yeah.
Right?
So I mean, they start off
And
strong.
the pedigree.
So
we talk about pedigree. The pedigree the Blacks all have.
So right off the bat, when you beat a team like that, and you sweep a team like that. I mean, you believe you could beat anybody. So they've kind of they've been very confident since the get go, and they've kind of just taken off and run with that confidence. So I think, like you said, it's going to be the first team that can win a road game. Probably wins this series.
Well, isn't that like an old saying? They always say a series doesn't start until a road team wins a game. Doesn't truly start till a road team wins a game. Because that's when home field.
That's
when the pressure gets. That's when the pressure gets ratcheted up a little bit.
Though. You know what I mean? The NBA home court
NBA
is always
stinks.
referred to as.
Let's just call it stinks.
we got to stop bashing it.
Why?
Too much, though.
It stinks. I don't.
Come on, this is the
games
NHL
are
block.
hard.
We're
I'm
gonna get
sorry.
to the
All right,
NBA.
We'll get to the NBA. It's just,
But Mike's savoring the NHL block right now.
It's interesting. In the NBA they always talk about home field. NFL home field is huge in the playoffs too. Hockey they don't talk about it as much. With these two teams, it's really important. I
Yeah,
think.
because isn't that the sport where it's most of the coin flip? Not that home
Baseball.
I think home court. But
Baseball,
I think
yeah.
Around all sports, I think home court's really not as what it used to be. I feel like the percentages really aren't that much in your favor. I would say tops maybe like 54, 55%.
Well, I think NBA you could say that because the level of teams is so
Right.
large, so that the really big,
true.
really great teams are going to win on the road.
Yeah.
The Cavs are going to beat the Hawks, whatever it is. On the road sometimes. Because they're so much better.
Yeah.
But I still think it's a huge...
Because basketball, it's supposed to be big home court advantage, right?
Why do you think it is, man?
Because the
Every
refs.
sport.
Let's be honest.
Is
Refs
that why
control
you
the
think?
games. Yeah, man. You
I
look
don't
at the
know.
statistics of a home team and a road team. Look how many more times the home team goes to the line. It's silly, but it's true. I'm not saying there's anything fixed, but it's inherent. As biased as the refs try to be.
But wouldn't that be every sport though? That inherently it's going to be.
There's the
home
most call.
field?
There's so many fouls called in the NBA. The refs have so much control over a game.
What about football too?
Football? There's
Home field
how many,
advantage in
if
football is big.
if you get 8 penalties
Especially
in a game, it's a lot.
I hear you about that. You're right about that. Though. But sometimes in football, the
pass
the
interference
significance,
right?
the
I hear you.
significance of one call is over. All you gotta do is throw a flag, like huge play. It was holding today. It was holding this play. Well, it could have been holding last play, but they just called it this play. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, that's why the NFL's a flawed game.
Yeah, that's a very... Yeah. You can call anything they
same thing with
want.
You can say any
basketball.
sport.
A foul.
really flawed for that
In
matter.
basketball, a foul.
No, baseball's not really that flawed.
In basketball, the fundamental is foul, and that's a subjective. There's no definition exactly what a foul is. Like an offsides in basketball, or a
Right.
ball or strike, even though it gets interpreted.
But it's very...
there is a definition.
As a basketball
Very
ref,
subjective.
Well, but also you have how many refs on the court at once? Three. So you're all... They're on top of these guys, you know what I mean? And there's not that many guys on the court. Football's a little harder.
Put it this way.
It's an 11 on
Put it-
11
put
in
it
like
football.
8 refs.
There are many
Yeah.
times. when
There's
then
a lot.
refs anticipate calls in basketball. And if you don't think it's true, look it up.
No, yeah, you're definitely right.
It's crazy. I think baseball, like we said, has the least amount of home field
Flaws?
advantage.
You mean? Oh, I thought
You're
you
talking
said
about home
flaws.
field advantage
Yeah.
only because the game, it really
It's a
doesn't
different game.
change.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
football, hockey, basketball, you get a lot of momentum. from the crowd.
Momentum's a huge factor.
And a lot of times it works against the pitcher because he's so gassed up, there's so much adrenaline running through his body. He's high, his breaking balls aren't working the right way.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, not a lot of times, but it definitely, it doesn't do, I feel like, as much for the home team. Don't get me wrong, you get pumped up, I'm sure,
Yeah.
but...
But they're long games. They're not timed.
Yeah, exactly.
They're, it's
exactly.
different. It's the only sport of
You
the
can-
major sports that doesn't have a clock.
It's the best game.
Yeah.
Getting back to hockey. Nashville's 8-1 in the playoffs right now.
Paul, can we get the comments up a little larger on the
Yeah,
screen
at
here?
home. 8-1 at home. Pittsburgh's 9-3 at home. So they've been continuing into the playoffs with the home dominance.
Yeah.
For this series going forward, one thing that's been very evident is Nashville's been dominating the shots. They've outshot them by 10 basically. They outshot them 26-12.
That was ridiculous,
game.
the first game. Yeah, that was silly. They didn't have a shot for like 18 minutes or something.
Yeah, it was strange.
And yet they somehow won. That was a game they should have lost.
Then 38-27, and then Nashville again 33-28. But the third period they played a little more defensive. They were up 3-1. So
And you were
Pittsburgh.
saying how Pittsburgh, their disadvantage was at goalie too. But Nashville had the goalie advantage, and it's surprising they're up 2-1 with that.
Well, Murray's been
with the shot. With the shot.
Murray's been better.
Yeah, Murray's been better,
difference.
but.
I mean, when you have to switch goalies in the playoffs,
Yeah.
right? You can't have
Well, did they
anybody
start
that.
with Murray?
No, they started with Fleury.
I thought they went Murray, Fleury, Murray.
But this is another thing too. I don't like the idea of switching goalies in the playoffs. I mean,
Neither do I. Last year they switched Fleury to Murray.
Yeah.
it's something that Pittsburgh seems to do, and they've been
They do all the
successful
time.
with it. But
I feel like Corey Crawford was always on the cusp of getting pulled with the Blackhawks too.
yeah,
And then he would have a great game, and then he would ride it out
because
for the rest of the
they don't
playoffs.
want to ride out guys when there's so much on the line. But I don't know. I don't think it's a good strategy. But you don't have to worry about Nashville doing that because they have one of the best goalies in the league. He hasn't been great, but I'm waiting for him to just break out and win a game on his own. And maybe this is the game to do it.
He's gonna, I think.
I'm expecting a close game today. I think it's going to be a 1-goal game.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice to see the Predators show life. It's nice to see that.
I'm
the
done with
series.
hockey. Can we move on?
That's what the transition I
Charles
was doing.
Barkley's
Hold
at the
on.
game. Even Charles
Give
Barkley's
the
excited
transition a
about
second. It was nice to see the Predators come back,
Right.
make it a 2-1, have it a closely contested series, as opposed to the NBA
NBA.
Finals. See,
Take it away, host.
Give the
Got a
transition a second.
Got a question for you guys. Are the Golden State Warriors going to go 16-0?
I'm going to say no, only because I'm going to give LeBron one game at home.
So
He's
let's
supposed to be the best player on the planet, right?
Yeah.
As good as that other team is, as unbelievable as the Warriors are,
Yeah.
I think he somehow pulls out a game. And it'll probably be game 3. I think if they lose
But
game 3,
listen,
they
last
get
year,
swept.
last season, they were down 2-0. And they actually lost both games by more points
Yeah.
than they did
48,
these two.
like 41 or 42.
So, I'm sure a lot of people were saying the same things last year. Obviously, there's Durant now, so it's a
Absolutely
different
worse than the
story.
same
But
things last year because it was 73-9 too.
right,
Yeah.
right, exactly. So, I mean, I honestly don't know. I mean, I could see this being a sweep, though. I could
Look,
definitely see it.
It looks really bad for Cleveland. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong, but I gotta say, because Chris and I took Cleveland in 7, and we're not
Yeah.
looking too hot
You
right
wanna
now.
change your
I'm
mind?
not
No,
looking
no,
hot.
no,
I
we
can't
gotta
change my mind.
We gotta
no.
keep it.
I'm not changing my
But
mind.
if you watch the first half, and obviously the game is the whole game, but those 2 first halves, Cleveland was right in it. They scored 64 points yesterday, and against a good defense, Warriors. They were only down by 3, and then the same thing in the first game. They were 60-52. They were only down by 8 first half.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Warriors is just it's too much over too amount of time. The Warriors never have to stop putting the foot on the gas pedal.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the Cavs are going to tire out before the Warriors because the Warriors just have so many.
That's what it is. It's the number
LeBron
of
has to do
options,
so much.
and you can't cover all of them. You just can't. They're moving the ball around too fast for them. They can't keep up.
You're
And
getting-
then if you try to play their game
No, you can't
and
do
do the
That's the
fast-paced game, you get
problem.
killed.
They're
And they
trying-
tried.
I don't know.
Yeah, and they tried.
They have to
Can't
slow
do
the
it.
game down
You
if
can't
they're
do
gonna.
it.
If they are going.
have
If
to.
they're gonna win a game, it's gonna have to be. They're gonna have to hold Golden State to the low 100s.
I was going to say.
Yeah,
You're gonna have
it's
to-
crazy when you think about it. The
Keep
old.
them in check.
Remember the old finals when the Pistons were winning and the scores were 84 to 70.
84. No,
that was
no,
awesome.
no. One time the Pistons. I remember I was looking at
Ben
in
Wallace?
2004. It was Pistons versus Pacers. It was 68-66. End of the game. That's the game.
That's
that
like
was the
college
halftime.
basketball.
That was halftime.
I remember when it was absurd that a team scores 60 points and a half, and now the Warriors do every
Average every
single
week,
half.
yeah.
Every
Warriors
single half.
averaging 118 points going into
They
the.
took 43 threes last night.
They're 14-0 in the playoffs.
Right.
It's like a
okay,
video
so
game.
no
The
team has
problem-
ever went 16-0.
No.
See,
So
Here's
it's
also the-
historic.
well, no team's ever gone 14-0. It's already historic.
Right, but 16-0 would be
Yeah,
really
I know.
something.
Here's the problem. In the first half of Game 1, the Warriors got so many offensive rebounds, too. And they had no turnovers, and the Cavs had turnovers. So I think that we're talking about shots in hockey, but the shot difference in the NBA Finals game was by 15 shots in the first half. The Warriors had 15 more shots than the Cavs. You can't have the Warriors having 15 more shots than you. They're going to make almost... they have the highest percentage, let alone giving them all these opportunities to score. You need to hold on to the ball. You need to get your rebounds, and you need to go back to the pick and rolls, like you're saying. Try to slow the game down. And as weird as it sounds, you need help from like J.R. Smith.
Oh, of
course. I know you don't want the games. It's not hinging on him. You need Irving to have a better game. He only had 19 points in game 2.
Right.
J.R. has to have a good game.
He doesn't look
Kyle
right.
Korver has to shoot better, and all those guys tend to shoot better at home. That's why they might be able
one
to
thing you
steal a
see
game.
with the rebounds is, when the Warriors take so many threes, you get these long rebounds. Curry had 10, 11
triple-double.
Yeah.
Second time in history.
yesterday.
2 triple-doubles same game.
Yeah.
They have to do a better job rebounding.
Yes.
Because if they give this team, there was one possession, I remember Durant ended up hitting a 3 after 2 offensive rebounds.
Right.
I mean, that's deflating.
The first game,
if you're lucky
especially,
enough
the
that
first
this
game, they
team
had made offensive
misses
rebounds.
2 times in a possession, if you're lucky
Exactly.
enough, forget it. They're not going to miss a third.
Right.
That's exactly it. Yeah. And
But in terms of the other guys that you're talking about, somebody's got to step up. But you look at like a guy like Darren Williams, he doesn't look like he belongs on the floor with
He
these
looks like
other
an old
guys.
man.
He looks like an old man. He looks
really does.
lost.
the only thing he can do is spot up 3-pointers now, and he's got.
And he was never that
exactly.
great of a
And he's
shooter to
gotta
begin
make
with.
them.
He was always
who's he covering on the defensive end?
He's a liability.
It's a liability. The whole.
But Irving can't cover Curry really either.
Who can?
Nobody
Nobody
can.
can.
All right,
That's the problem.
You realize Durant is the best player on the court the first 2 games.
Erroneous.
LeBron's
The second
still
game.
the best player.
The
on the
second
court.
game.
I
No,
know.
I'm
everybody's
not saying. No, I'm not saying he's better.
This is the passing of the torch.
No,
to Durant.
that's not what I'm saying. The first 2 games, Durant has outplayed LeBron.
LeBron had triple-double.
I don't care.
Yeah. Listen to
Look,
me.
Durant is going right by him anytime he touches the ball. LeBron cannot keep
LeBron's
up with him.
defense is not good right now.
He
yes.
can't keep up with him. He's literally
exhausted.
I don't care. He's taking LeBron to school right now. I'm not saying he's better than LeBron because LeBron is still a better player. But after these first 2 games, Durant has literally said, "You know what? I'm taking this over. You're not stopping me."
Well, here's what
and
it is.
he hasn't been able to.
But LeBron is exerting so much on the offensive end, right? He's got the ball on every
does
possession.
everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
Literally does everything.
Durant's shots. Durant on offense is, he's got a ton of just wide open dunks. He's not. He's getting his a lot easier on offense.
Agreed.
So, and when people say LeBron has to work for everything.
Yeah.
Durant isn't just the perfect team for his style of play, and it just looks like it's coming real easy to him. I'm not saying he's not playing extremely well. He's played great the first 2 games. But, I mean, LeBron is still the best player on
I'm
the
not
floor.
saying
Let's
he's not
say
the best player on the court, but these first 2 games, I think Durant has clearly outplayed him. I know LeBron has to do everything. He may have had the triple-double, this and that, but...
Well, I mean, Durant's scoring points.
Yeah, but
is
not
what he's
even
doing.
scoring
He's
points.
getting
He's rebounding. He's
rebounds. He's getting
assisting.
rebounds.
He had 5 blocks.
He had 9
yesterday.
rebounds.
he's
the
over
first,
5 blocks.
He had
Yeah.
9 rebounds the first game. LeBron had 15.
Okay, I'm not talking about
had
stat
38
for
points,
stat.
I know, but LeBron is literally doing everything you could possibly do on the court.
Yeah, he's
I
trying to do everything he can.
understand that, but
Yeah.
LeBron is supposed to be this great shutdown defender, and meanwhile Durant, when covering people, has him shooting something like 35% in this series when he's matched up with whoever he's matched up with.
Right.
And there have been times it's been LeBron.
Yeah, I think a little.
Durant blew right by LeBron on top of the key a couple times. 1-on-1, boom, right by him.
Yeah.
Like I've never really
gonna
seen that
happen,
happen.
No, but that will happen once in a while.
And I'm
though.
not even talking about in transition.
On the
Durant in
set
transition,
half court.
yeah. Set
Well,
half court.
Durant
Durant in
on
transition,
transition.
and LeBron for that matter, they're
Well,
unstoppable.
especially in the Warriors too, because sometimes the better move is giving up a dunk to the Warriors in transition. Because if you think about Curry standing in the corner, you might want to run to Curry because nowadays that's a free throw for Curry. Mm-hmm. It sounds crazy. Don't get me wrong.
He
can't
takes
do it every
crazy
time.
shots and he nails them, yeah.
He's probably.
He's the greatest shooter of all time.
What do you think he is? I don't know what these.
He's the greatest
statistics are.
shooter of all
I've
time.
ever seen.
He-
He's the greatest shooter I've ever seen.
Pure shooter. he is.
but then you always hear they always say, well, actually, Klay Thompson is actually the best shooter.
Yeah, well,
he's
stop
not.
it.
Though.
I
He's
think
not.
Thompson can get
When
hotter.
Thompson gets hot,
Yes,
he is. He's the guy that puts up 25, 30 points in a quarter.
He
if he's hot.
can't get his own shot the way Curry can.
But
No,
the
that's
bottom
Curry's
line
better
is,
shooter.
as I'm watching this Warrior team, I realize that this might be the best team ever assembled.
Ever.
Because
Created.
on top of everything that they do, and they have a guy, they can play defense.
Yeah, Iggy.
They do play.
Andre Iguodala is a very nice piece to have on the defensive side of the
What
ball.
about Sean Livingston? Not a bad player. Nobody talks about a good player. Tall, lanky, good defender, backup point guard.
You got to give their GM a lot of credit the way that they've drafted and the way that they've just
set
assembled
that
this
team,
team.
yeah.
It's a really as close to a perfect team as I've seen in ever.
How about this?
And you thought last year was the perfect team too.
I know, right?
Yeah,
and
well,
they have their worst
just
record.
unfair when you think about it.
It's scary to think moving forward after this year, and I mean,
What's
we'll
gonna
talk about it
happen?
at the end
They're
of the
gonna
season.
win again this year.
No,
No,
but
but remember
at
we-
the end of the season, obviously, and we can't say the series is over because
it's
they
not
they
gonna
held
happen.
serve.
Happened last
They held serve and they won their
It's
first
still
two games.
and it was in Golden State. But remember what we talked about last week? I think you said, what was it? You said what would happen if? Because remember we were talking about like the NBA's on two legs right now. What if one leg goes away? We're getting towards that.
You're right.
What if they blow them out in the series?
We have
then we're
to
talking
wait,
about
though.
one team.
do have to
Can I
in the
just-
NBA.
That's a conversation for next week.
I just want to say two things. If LeBron gets swept, is he now in the conversation? People going to still say he's better than Jordan?
I'm still, I'm
If
on my thing
LeBron
with
gets
that.
swept in the finals,
Look, I'm gonna give him. Look,
He's
I'll-
but it's
doing
not just
everything
him.
he can.
I'll try to
He's
give-
playing
I'll
against
try-
the
Dude,
best
you know what he
team
did
ever
I'll try to give the
played.
short answer.
Do you know
I'll
what
try
his
to give the
numbers
short
were
answer.
yesterday?
You're right. He's playing the best team ever, but Jordan never got swept like that.
Yeah, but Jordan never played
Jordan
a team
never-
like
you're
that.
right.
I know, I
Team
know,
like
I
this.
know.
no, but he also played some very tough teams that he lost to.
Sure.
Not a team
so
like
has
this.
LeBron.
I hear
He's
you.
beaten tough teams and
I'd have
lost
to
to
look
tough
it
teams.
up. I'd have to look it
Like
up.
last night, LeBron was 12 for 18 from the field, 29 points.
12 for 18.
11
got to work for everything. He's
11
still 12
rebounds
for
and
18.
14
It's
assists.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
who am I kidding? No,
It's
LeBron's
like-
still in the conversation.
It's incredible
with Jordan.
how
Still
efficient.
always going to be
He
the
had
guy.
a
I think Jordan's
triple-double.
always better. But
I'm just because you watch a guy like Westbrook who averaged a triple double and he shot 42% or something.
Right.
LeBron
42.
shot 55% during
And
the regular
triple-double.
season.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
I'm
everybody
sorry.
else was centers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that.
But he
stat. I'm
also,
not
that's
discounting
because he
it.
drives
incredible.
a lot. And,
Jordan would never,
It's-
ever get swept in the finals. Granted, they're playing a ridiculous
It's
team.
apples
I
and
agree with you
oranges,
there.
man.
All right,
Exactly.
I'll pose you another question. I don't know if you guys
agree.
heard this. I know the answer. I'm not going to say anything. I heard it today on ESPN Radio.
yeah.
They surveyed 5 sports books in Vegas. This Warriors team versus the 95-96 Bulls. Okay? What do you think the spread would be?
Wait, say it.
for one game, or we talk about money line
Series?
for a series?
For a game. If they played one game,
Spread.
Where?
Neutral.
neutral court, okay? 95-96 Bulls versus this year's Warriors. What do you think
Can I just
the spread would be?
caveat that is such a different NBA.
They said
It's so insanely
said- I knew
you were
different.
gonna
It's
throw
not-
that caveat
but it's
right
ju-
out there.
It's such an insanely different
Nice
NBA.
caveat.
But I'll
play along because I
I'm
was
gonna
actually
play along. Yes, of course. I'm going -10 Warriors.
Wow, bigger than the spread of last night's game.
But it's the way he said it. It has to be a big spread. That's why I'm.
No,
that's
I'm
why-
not. Oh,
that's
did I
why
lead you on like that?
I felt like you led me on. I could be wrong.
I'm just
gonna up it.
I'm just asking
That's why.
what you think it
Andrew
would be.
Gladwin says Bulls +3. Bulls getting 3.
Bulls plus. All right.
That's a good one.
I think it would be more. I think they'd be
Yeah?
getting more. I do.
I don't know.
So he said Golden State 10. What do you say?
Probably around 10. Yeah. Maybe
Sure.
more. Maybe no, about 10.
What, with
Okay.
the spread?
This
Yeah.
is the this.
I don't know.
know.
I'm just curious.
This is very hard to
I
do.
would say, I would say the Bulls would be underdog, but
How many points though?
I'd say like around 3, 4, something like that.
that close.
7.5. 7.5 to 8. If they said in the thing, oh, I'm trying to. They basically said it's a very tough comparison to make,
'Cause
but
of the NBA?
ESPN, yeah, because it's just a different league and whatever. It's
really
definitely
is.
difficult.
That's
But if the gun to their head, they said
I understand.
the consensus was 7.5 to 8. But there were 1 or 2 that said like 3.
Okay.
But the other majority
7
said
to 8.
7 to 8 points. Yeah,
That's because it's fresh on their minds too.
that's a good point.
Recency
Well, yeah,
bias.
you do forget about it. I wonder how old like the sports bookies that they asked.
No, it's the head of
Oh,
the
sorry,
Win
okay. I got you.
and in Vegas, and there was MGM, all the
got you.
big sports books.
I just want to see the spread here for this game.
I was looking. Did you in Game 5?
Golden
If it goes to a
State.
Game 5, you know what the money line is in Game 5 for the Warriors?
money line. I'm going to say minus 1,200.
-540. If you said 1,200, I can't let you guys guess.
Wait. At this point,
If it goes to a Game 5 right
Yeah.
now, the Warriors are -540 to win Game 5.
I wonder what the odds are right now to win the series.
I couldn't find it. I was trying to look it up.
I know. I know when they were.
I saw on
I was
2-1.
trying to get a number. I
saw
was trying to get the number for tonight. I couldn't find it.
I saw something that it said they're like a 2 or 3% chance to win the series.
So it
Cleveland.
went down from 6.
Yeah.
What were they
down.
last year at this point, though? They might probably the same thing.
Look, that's the only
Probably.
thing.
That's the only solitude you could take. That's the silver lining on this if you're Cleveland. Hey, we did the same exact thing last year. We came back. We beat them.
We're in the same position.
Granted, you don't have Kevin Durant, but
You
that's
gotta
what you
go-
have to be saying
You gotta
yourself
go
in
one
the
game
Cleveland
at a
locker room.
time. You
Is
gotta go
Kevin
one game at a
Durant
time.
the second best player in the league?
Or Curry.
If we say LeBron,
LeBron's definitely the number one.
Yeah, I think there's
argue
LeBron, there's everybody else. I think you have to make that argument.
I mean,
would say it's got to be. You know what the problem is? And look, I still think LeBron's the best player in the court right now. But what I'll say is that, and I said it a couple of episodes ago here, I said that LeBron is so much better than everyone else. That's not true right now. Durant is showing that he's
playing better.
Yes,
here's a question.
He's just as he's there. LeBron's better, but he's there.
Somebody at work asked me this today, and I thought about it. He said, you know, if you're a GM and you're taking one player right now to start your team, who's the player you're taking?
Career or season?
For the rest of their career.
For like a franchise.
You're taking one player in
like
the
a
NBA
franchise.
right now for your team.
From here on out?
Here on out. You would get a younger guy than LeBron, I guess, right?
What's LeBron now? How old is he?
He's got to be 32.
32?
He's going to be 33.
Probably not.
I think he is.
LeBron.
I don't think you are.
Leonard.
He said Durant.
You know who I might...
How old is Durant?
He's really young. I might think you want to throw Karl Anthony Towns into the conversation.
He hasn't done enough yet.
I know, but I'm talking about a guy with a future career. I want to know how Durant is.
What, you can think of Harden?
I would take Leonard.
I
would take Leonard.
I'm just saying throw him in the conversation.
No way.
He's young, man.
I don't care how young he is.
He's like 20 years old.
Yeah, well,
He's
he was a rookie last year. But, spread, interesting. It opened at +2 Golden State. Now it's -3 Golden State.
Wow, 5 points it moved.
5-point swing.
I was surprised they opened up as an underdog.
What?
Yeah, they got
You're surprised, what, that they're the underdog?
That they opened up at +2?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
it. Yeah.
I mean, they were 9-point dogs last night.
And now they went to -3. It's a 5-point swing.
They're a -3 favorite.
They should
against the Cleveland Cavaliers on the road.
That's crazy.
I don't know. It's bothering me watching the games. Like I'm bothered
because you
by
waited the whole season for this. We hyped it up that this is the NBA season.
Yeah.
And the first two games.
And
it's just like the rest of the playoffs. It's just like the rest of the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's excitement around it, but it's like the dud because it's like you feel like that the Cleveland just can't get around them. They just can't do anything about it.
They get close.
And there was one point last night where they were down like 10, like early on. Then they came back and they were only down 3. Like I think it was like the third quarter. And then all of a sudden, they just ran away with it. You can't keep up with them. You can't keep up with them
fast. It's like,
but that's part of the thing is they got to
retarded.
slow down the game if they want any chance because. I mean, with how fast they play, Cleveland on offense needs to slow down a little bit because you can't run with this team. There's no way.
Yeah.
The more shot opportunities they get,
but that's Cleveland's game.
Well, they got to change
a lot of their games too.
Team,
I'm not saying it's as much as the Warriors. But that's a lot of their offense too. And LeBron in the open court is pretty much unstoppable. But
no, I know. There's too many guys on that team. They have 4. Remember they talk about the big three. Big three. Now there's a 4.
You need a big 4.
Yeah. It's impossible.
So now, what do the Cavs do? The Cavs go get Melo at the end of this offseason if they don't win?
Anthony Davis. No, you can't.
The Cavs go get Melo?
But they need a guy like that.
Cavs go get Melo.
I mean, Melo's old. So that's just going to be
really
old.
It's going to be Melo, Irving, Love, and LeBron versus
Melo
Durant,
do,
Thompson.
It's going to be rich, get richer. That's the way the NBA goes these days. But
they have to come up with something. I think we should touch on this next week, but they have to come up with something.
Conversation.
Yeah, we'll do that next week. But
this can't go on.
Quick note: by the time we have our next show, we'll know if there's a Game 5, and Game 5 would be that night.
Monday
at 9 o'clock when we start.
Nice, on Monday, okay.
So we're basically competing against the NBA Finals.
Cleveland, win a game.
Yes, so we
can watch it
that
next week,
over here.
And then people will watch us as opposed to LeBron James and Stephen Curry.
Exactly.
But you put us on, you put us both on.
Simulcast.
Yeah, we'll simulcast.
We'll announce the game.
You put us on your iPhone.
Shut off Mike Breen.
Exactly.
No,
I love Van Gundy though. Van Gundy's
the best.
He's got to get shut off.
Is the best.
Remember those ESPN commercials that he had a few years ago?
On the bus. That was great.
The one where who's driving the
bus?
Who's driving the bus? He's like, what?
Did you hear him talking? What there was a. I think LeBron threw a dunk down in Game 1, and Mark Jackson was like, "What a dunk!" And Van Gundy was like, "Whoa! Did you just see Rihanna walk by?"
He's funny.
There you go, Andrew Gladwin. He's got dual screens. He knows what's going on.
There you go.
Also, Danny Milano agrees with Win and myself. Jordan was never swept.
Yeah, well, of course. How could you agree that Jordan was never swept? It's a fact. Can't agree or disagree.
I think he's backing us up.
It's a fact. All right. We're moving on.
Yeah.
We're going to do a little fantasy baseball focus.
Yes, sir.
I want to do a little buy low, sell high, guys, because the trade deadline's coming up in fantasy.
In most leagues.
We had ours last night.
Yeah, ours was the draft pick trade deadline. We still have a regular trade deadline.
It was madness.
Wait, we do? I don't even know the rules of this league anymore.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
I run this league, and I think it's out of my hands at this point.
He's lost control.
I lost
It's been
control.
an overtaking.
I lost complete control.
Madness last night.
It was crazy. So much I had to deal with that I couldn't even keep up. But anyway,
Pat DeVito, if
a
you're
lot of
watching,
stuff
I don't
happened.
I don't think we're trading anymore.
Corruption.
I think you got your wish.
Yeah, like 11. I think it was 11 trades last night within like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Then Paul calls me at 11:05.
Paul calls after the trade
His
deadline.
deadline's at 11. He calls me at 11:05. He's chewing food. He's eating. I'm like, what's up? He's like, yeah. I want to make a trade. You got what do you want for Hamels? I'm like, dude, the deadline's over. Bro.
And
What
you're
are you
already
talking
traded
about?
Hamels.
I had no clue.
I tried calling the win before 11. But I thought it was 11:30 for some reason.
You don't know
Hamels
what's
wasn't on
going
your
on.
team
I don't
anymore.
wanna
Yeah, I already
get a
traded
big production
Hamels.
here in the studio.
Hamels was gone. Or he was pending, at least. But it was retarded. Anyway, we're going to do buy low, sell high, guys. Because, a couple more weeks till the deadline and stuff.
I like it.
Any guys, for me, Machado, a big buy low guy right now. I mean, he's really not doing anything.
If you can buy him, I don't know if anybody's really going to.
I mean, everybody knows what's going to happen. I mean, if there's any case of a guy breaking out and turning things around, it's him, right?
He's actually turned around a little bit. He homered in consecutive games.
But the home is
There you
the
go.
thing. If the power's still there, it's hitting 212. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Right.
what did he hit last year?
About
Did he
280,
hit
290.
And that's slowed down because he was raking average-wise. But I agree with Win. If you could buy him right now, because I don't think you could, but if you could buy him, I would jump all over and buy low on him.
Agree.
Yeah, no, I know. Of course. I mean, you
Everyone
have to.
talks
That
about,
guy.
like Win said, everyone talks about regressing down to the mean. Well, he's going to go up to the mean now.
He'll probably 300 the rest of the way. Unless he's just
Right.
not
Kind
a
of like
good...
the Grandison, right? We were talking about.
We'll get back to that. We'll
Yeah.
get back to that. I'll give you a
Give me a
sell,
guy,
a
sure.
sell high guy.
Sell high.
And everybody I spoke to last night is probably going to beat the hell out of me. But
like the sell high
Ryan
guy.
Zimmerman.
Oh, yeah?
yeah.
Chris told us to buy low on it. I mean, to pick him up.
Well, that was a long time ago.
I know, yeah.
100%. I picked him up.
Yeah.
Chris's
He was 100%
advice
right. He was 100%
about
right.
2 months ago.
And he's still ripping.
He's
though,
hitting
too,
375.
We were making fun of you so
Oh, my
hard. We
God.
were trying to close the show, and you were taling about Ryan Zimmerman. Like, Ryan Zimmerman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got abused
Close
for
the
it.
show, you're talking about
He
Ryan
got
Chris
Zimmerman.
was
abused
100%
We
right.
ate our words a couple times on
Yeah.
this show, Chris.
And he's on my team. So
The
he's hitting
analyst.
375. He's got 39 runs
That's
scored,
incredible.
16 homers, and
375.
48
Are you kidding
ribbies.
me at this point?
It's June. He's hitting 375.
That's unbelievable.
So he's probably going to hit about 210 the rest of the way. Right?
I don't think so.
I don't know about 210. Supposedly he changed his swing, and I tried to sell him to every person possible last night. Nobody was biting. I
And
had
you're a
Eric
good
Stout for
salesman.
A little bit.
Yeah.
You gotta do what
Nobody
you gotta
wanted
do.
Zimmerman, yeah?
There were a couple bites, but nobody actually went
I mean, the
for it.
guy's doing so good.
Couple
How
of
could you
bites.
not want the guy? Like, I don't know. I would want him
Because
if I
he's
was
been
buying.
around for a long time, and nobody really believes it.
I
That's
know,
the
but I told
problem.
you about the
But
thing
he
with
did
Daniel
change-
Murphy and him.
But he did change
He had
his
a couple
swing.
good years.
He had a lot of good years.
But
he
never
just went
this.
into a stagnant period where he was bad for a little
He
while.
had some injuries, too, though.
He's hurt.
Yeah.
He's hurt.
Right, and he couldn't play third anymore either. He had trouble throwing to first or something like right.
Bad shoulder, I think.
So-
Rotator
Yeah,
cuff.
so
There's some pitchers that if you can get something for him, I would definitely try to sell right now. Guys like Mike Leake.
yeah, you gotta sell him.
Vargas on
Vargas
Kansas
having
City.
I know.
Irvin Santana. These are guys like, to me, like the dead giveaways. If you don't see a lot of strikeouts, it's
Well, that's
hard.
not always the case, but
It's not always the case, but I mean, it's a lot of smoke and mirrors right
Yeah.
now. If you can get something for those
because
guys,
if you're a
I
guy
would
that's
try
pitching
do
to
it.
soft, if your thing is to pitch to soft contact, like you better be really accurate and really good. Because if you're not K'ing people, it's hard. You're gonna get shelled. Like sinker balls, they always end up eventually getting shelled later in their career.
Because if you finally lay
Because
off that sinker.
yeah, and also if you're hanging that sinker and it's not sinking right,
If you're
you're
laying
getting
off
shelled.
of it and it's
Yeah.
a ball, then you got to bring it up a little bit.
Right. But there are certain guys that I think, that don't K a lot of people that are still very good. I mean, Keuchel, he's K'ing a lot of people this year?
Well, he's hurt. He's been hurt, remember?
Who, Keuchel?
Yeah, Dallas Keuchel.
Keuchel,
Oh, he's not hurt.
Back.
He's
Dallas
not hurt.
Keuchel?
No, he's
I
not
thought he had the
hurt.
pinched nerve in his neck.
Dude,
No, he's back.
Where you been?
No,
He's been back.
He's been filth.
yeah,
He's been unbelievable.
But
I know he's-
I always think about that one game playoff.
Is that a goal? Back over the line. That's a goal.
Yeah, I think
that's
they're going
2-1
to review
Nashville.
this now.
But
But
that's 100% a goal.
Yeah, he's K'ing a
that's
lot
the
of
goal.
guys,
Yeah,
though.
that's a goal.
It's not even close. 2-1 Nashville.
Yeah, you're right.
everybody.
But,
Keuchel's been great.
Yeah, he's
We
K'ing
talked
guys,
about
too.
him
I thought he
being
wasn't
I
great.
remember
guys.
that one game playoff where the Yankees played him, and I mean, he
couldn't touch
was untouchable.
Yeah.
Untouchable. So I mean, he's got the stuff. He's,
Right. And he's K'ing people, so I was wrong about him. I thought he wasn't even... Because usually he's a guy that needs to be accurate to get the job done and pitch the way he needs to pitch because he's not really throwing gas out
Nashville
there.
goal.
He throws like what? Low 90s?
But his ball
pitch.
moves all over the place, too.
Right.
It's like a wiffle ball.
What about Kyle Schwarber, Boo?
So Schwarber I have, and
Yeah, you have him.
I
That's a
talked
tough
a little bit about it.
situation.
He's not going to play against lefties. They moved him down the order. He was hitting ninth the other day. He actually hit a grand slam when he was hitting ninth
A couple days ago.
But I don't know what's going on with him. You know, in points leagues and stuff, he walks a ton still. But if you're hitting ninth and you're not playing every day, I can't really. He's on my bench and he's just kind of.
You could still sell him.
He's taking nobody wants a player that's not playing every day,
Yeah,
especially in a weekly league.
He's a great daily guy.
He's a good buy low guy. I think
He's
that's
a
what
buy
I'm
low
saying.
guy, but for Mike, that's not,
Yeah, but Mike could just get
selling
another player or something. That if
he's not going to get what's
He's
worth.
close to being droppable in my eyes. If he doesn't, if they don't,
He's at 165.
yeah. I mean, he's a monster though. I don't know what's going on with him this year, but
you can't
maybe
sell,
he's just not
you
hitting.
can't sell somebody
He's
who's not
160.
playing, especially in a weekly league.
Yeah,
In a
that's not
points
playing
league,
every
that's
day,
weekly,
yeah.
If he's not playing every day, even 5 times, you're not going to get anything for him. He's like an Evan Gaddis. Gaddis is a guy who, if he played every day, would be very good.
Which brings me to a point where I say that I'll say this real quick because I don't want to talk about it too much. I think we should move on from points league and weekly because the pro leagues, the big time leagues, the mess leagues are rotisserie, or at least if we're going to do head to head, it should be daily. Because honestly, we should be able to put in our pitchers every day.
But
and if
daily,
nobody
you
can
gotta
keep
start
up with
talking about
that,
innings limit and things like that.
I know, yes, but if we can't, we're all in the same league for 10 years together. If we can't keep up with a daily league, then there's problems. Because weekly's a little, I don't know. I don't think it's good anymore.
Moving
it doesn't
on.
work anymore.
Yeah, let's move on.
Moving on.
Oh, you want to move on to the next topic?
Absolutely.
No doubt.
Please, sir.
All right, so moving on to baseball again. Yankees, still doing well. Actually, they're 3-4. We were talking about
3 and
last
4 on
week.
the road trip.
3 and 4 on the road trip. We were talking about so far.
To hang around,
Right.
to hang around 500. So
Right.
Yeah, this is a tough stretch.
I said
where they're
5
playing
and
all the
7
AL
wouldn't be
East
so
teams.
bad.
They
So
split.
3 and 4.
They split with Toronto. They could very easily win 3 out of 4. Severino's throwing a gem yesterday. He gives up a hit to Morales. Next pitch, home run. 2 up, just like that. He was throwing a gem. It's this guy. He
What about those back-to-back jacks the other day?
That was
awesome.
Saturday.
Yeah.
That was Saturday.
But
I can't believe how hot they are.
just to talk about yesterday, and I know one guy I really like that does the Yankee games is Cone when Cone comes on.
Excellent. Yeah.
But he always talks about this, always, every game, and
What did he say?
he's right. So, bottom of the 8th inning, why doesn't Betances come in to face Donaldson?
How many out were there? Oh, no, to start the inning, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're saying the better.
He
his
always talks
better
about
hitters
high
are up.
leverage situations. You're talking about Donaldson. You're a long ball away from losing the game, and that's exactly what happened. Don't you want your best pitcher in there? No, it's not a save situation. All right, we get it. I think eventually the MLB is going to move, so it's not right now where it is. It's like it's taboo to bring in your closer there. if
It's
not a
actually been
save
better.
I think
I think it's
Francona
moved
started
towards
it
that,
last year with the playoffs. He
Francona
just
did a
brought
little
in Mel.
bit, and Cincinnati's doing it with their closer.
Iglesias?
Yeah.
They bring him in sometimes when
That's
it's not a
what-
safe situation. I think the
'cause he
MLB
could
is going
pitch
to
a lot.
move to that point.
Your ninth inning guy is not always going to be your best guy anymore because that's what the Indians would do.
Yeah, right. They had Miller as a-
Miller was okay. The high pressure I got win the game. He came in like the 5th inning. He was coming.
Not
in.
only high
and you
pressure,
had enough
but-
of guy. Cody Allen still good enough to pitch the 9th inning.
Right.
But Miller was so good that he can go anywhere. I agree with you. I think eventually that's going to happen too because it makes so much sense. Vince Follitt said it for years.
It's not even. Yeah, I know. Bring in Rivera. That's
Yeah.
all you'd hear.
'Cause
In like the 6th to 7th inning, and he's right in a sense, but you need other. You can't just have one guy in the bullpen to do that. You need other guys who you have some
And that's
confidence
where
in.
Chapman being injured is
You know?
really hurting them right now.
It is. Clippard, Warren's a guy you could use in the 6th, 5th, 6th, 7th. You can give him 2 innings if you need.
Having
Now
a middle
everybody-
long reliever is a big thing.
Now everybody
yeah.
gets bumped back with Chapman not in. But you're right in a sense that what good is Betances facing 7, 8, 9 when you have Batista, Donaldson, Morales going up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're better off having him face the best hitters in the team.
And then guess what? Betances comes in when the game doesn't matter anymore, or the game's already over. He doesn't even come
There's
in the
no
game.
save situation anymore.
So
But he could be that guy with Chapman. Like you were saying, it hurts to have Chapman.
Right,
hurt.
exactly,
Chapman,
exactly.
You could use Betances anywhere you want. If
Right.
Girardi was willing to go a little bit outside of the box,
book.
which he doesn't do often. You can use Betances anywhere you want. You can still have a guy like Warren Clippard.
Tell you right now.
But especially, he could pitch 2 innings. He pitched 2 innings a bunch of times. Why doesn't he come in there to face Donaldson regardless?
And he hasn't pitched that much recently.
It didn't make any sense. And you know what?
Well, we also
That's what happens.
You're going to see in the
we have a great deep bullpen, though. I mean, every guy in the bullpen's pitching great.
Yeah, everyone's been good. Clippard's good.
Clippard's doing great.
You don't tell me that Donaldson isn't there going, I hope they leave this guy in. They don't bring Betances in.
praying for a changeup.
He absolutely is.
Yeah. What were you saying, one?
Come the playoffs, you're going to see the Yankees in.
Whoa. They're making the playoffs?
If they make the playoffs,
playoffs?
or big games,
Playoffs?
right?
Yeah.
You're going to see the Yankees. You're going to see Girardi take guys out in the 5th inning.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he always does that.
You get to a 1-game playoff, you're going to see Warren come in the 4th, Clippard the 5th, Betances for 2.
Well, when you got
Chapman
that type
for
of
2.
bullpen. But
That's what you're going to see.
He might burn them out before that.
He might.
But let me ask you this.
He might.
So
Tanaka's having trouble.
Yeah, exactly. What's going to happen?
I knew you
Let's say
were
we
gonna
make the playoffs and Tanaka does this all year. Like, who would be your 1, 2, 3 for the playoffs right now? Because since Tanaka's doing horrible, of course Severino's one.
Severino's your ace right now, right?
Right.
You can agree on that?
Yes. He has under a 3 ERA right now.
Pineda,
2.9.
Pineda might be the 2.
and then Tanaka. I still give Tanaka the ball over Sabathia.
Yeah, I guess you got to.
But
what if he stays at a 6.34? That's his ERA right now. It's ridiculous.
Well, here's also a problem.
Regression to the mean, right?
Here's also a
Well, he
problem.
better.
We were talking about. Remember on the very first episode, we talked about the 3 most important Yankees.
Yeah.
And we all unanimously said Tanaka and Sanchez.
Oh, I remember when
we
did
said
that. Yeah.
Tanaka and Sanchez. Amazingly, they're still doing good, and Tanaka's done nothing, and Sanchez was hurt now is coming back.
Having a decent year.
Yeah, he's coming back. Yeah, he's starting to hit, but he needs a little time to
So
get
the 2 most
good.
important players haven't really been Sanchez is a little bit of a factor, but Tanaka's not a huge factor.
Exactly. And I still wouldn't change my mind that Tanaka's so important for this team, and with him struggling like this, it just doesn't bode well.
From when you see, what do you think the issues are?
You know, I heard them talking about on the radio his splitter. How when he first came into the league, I think the exact numbers were like it was dropping like close to 2 inches, and now it's barely dropping.
Yeah.
I think it was like point something inches, 0.1,
the
0.2
movement
inches.
and
his splitter is not moving at all. It's just hanging out
there.
there.
The problem with that is you need to throw a split hard.
Mm-hmm.
If he's not throwing at his full 100% capacity, the way because I know he's got that elbow problem.
Since the elbow, he tore his UCL.
He's got a torn. If he can't throw the ball as hard as he
surgically.
wants, his splitter is not going to dive. It's going to hang.
Right.
Wasn't
You
he
can't
throwing-
throw-
That's like hanging a sinker.
Yeah, you can't throw a split at 80-85% because it won't. There's nothing to make it dance down. You need to throw a split hard. That's why it's a tough pitch to throw. And
It's like a fast changeup.
No, there's more downward
It dips
movement.
down, yeah,
There's
I
more
mean-
down. It's more like a
Right.
You know,
Quick.
Yeah.
Well, they keep swearing nothing's wrong with him, and he
Wasn't
keeps
he throwing
swearing nothing's
hard
wrong
though
with
early
him.
in the year in the spring training?
Yeah.
Weren't we talking about how hard he was throwing?
Yeah,
the
him
whole
and Bird
radar
looked
gun?
unbelievable.
He's throwing 97 miles an hour. So what is it like? It sounds
Maybe
like he
he's
is
hurt.
throwing hard enough.
It has to be one of those things where they have to figure it out soon, and if he gets rocked again, it might be one of the things where they just need to
Put him on the
They
DL.
just need to
Put
be
him on the
precautionary and just put him on the DL because
No,
the
to
team's
get your
playing
head
so
right.
well right now.
To
Just
get
to
your head right.
get the head right and hope he
Yeah.
comes back strong later
could do
on
that.
because they
Yeah.
can't keep marching
You'll
him
just
out
say his
there.
arms bothering him.
Yeah.
You'll just say it's a sore shoulder.
Because
or
Yankees
something like that.
are one of the very few teams right now that don't really have a lot of injuries besides the Chapman injury and the Bird.
And they got through Sanchez injury too.
Well, yeah, but they got through it already. Yeah, I'm saying right now at
That's
the
a
moment.
fair amount of injuries.
That's right, yeah.
I mean Chapman. Chapman's a big one, of course.
Bird hasn't
Bird,
played.
Bird.
Carter's
but the
been
way
terrible.
the way
And
our
Carter's been
lineup has
terrible.
been, it's okay for now.
They're
you know,
doing this
to
with
not have
zero
him in it.
production at first base.
I know, and so
And
here's
the
that's
number
the
one
leads me to
guy,
my next question.
Tanaka,
Go ahead.
this team could be real. If Tanaka turns around, this team could also be real. Now we could talk about, all right, maybe they are for real. Because now you get the guys that are supposed to be performing. You get the guys that you weren't expecting to perform, and they're performing.
Right.
The rotation is still. They need to go out and grab somebody if they're.
That's what I was going to ask
if
you.
They're in the,
What are we buying and what are we doing at the trade deadline?
Well, Wynn brought this up last time, and the only guy he really brought up was Jose Quintana.
Garrett Cole, I've heard.
so pitching?
I heard Marco Estrada, but it looks like Toronto's going to be in there.
They're not going to trade him to an.
Toronto
No.
came on.
They're not
Toronto's
coming
hot.
on,
Yeah.
Yeah, but even if they're not going to trade Estrada to an AL East team.
Is
Right.
Leak? I think Leak is another guy that we're
See
talking
a guy
about.
that you really want
Nah.
to trade
Just
for.
said he's.
Yeah,
No,
well,
well,
I know, but you know,
You're selling high.
when there's not a lot out there.
Yo, moving him to the AL East could be a disaster. You don't want to do that.
I agree completely. I haven't seen Mike. I haven't seen Mike Leake pitch too much, but I cannot picture. I know what he is.
I
His
think him being,
repertoire
he's
stuff.
on San Francisco, right?
No,
Leak? No, he's on
No,
Cincinnati.
Cardinals.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you think
He
about
was
this
in
one?
Cincinnati.
What do you think about this one? This is one I like.
Cincinnati Cardinals. We forgot what team. He's on so many teams, Mike Leake.
He was drafted by Cincinnati.
The Royals are bad. They're going to sell. So what do you think about getting Mike Moustakas for third? Instead of bringing up Gleyber Torres.
You were saying that.
I like that.
I think
I like Moustakas.
I don't think any trade should be. I think the hitting has been very nice. We even talked about a potential lineup if they bring, Bird comes back healthy and they bring Torres up because God knows Chase Headley's got to go.
Headley needs to go.
I've only been saying this.
Oh my
for
God,
weeks.
he was hot at the beginning. I was like, look at Headley.
We were like,
look at Headley.
Oh. Now he's been like 235.
I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm saying, listen, it's going to not last much longer, dude.
But I think he went down to 230, 226.
But why don't you want them? Why don't you want them to bring up Torres?
Like 350.
I just think that we're so good right now. Do we need to rush him up here? Do we need to get him up here? Is it rushing him up here anyway? But I don't know.
If he's performing,
right?
If he's performing,
he hasn't been hitting too much in AAA.
He just moved up to AAA.
Yeah.
If he starts turning on,
he just moved up to AAA. So let him play.
But if he's raking in AAA, I agree with you. You don't have to rush him up.
But then you're moving him to third, and he's a shortstop. I don't want to stick him at third.
Why?
No,
he doesn't want to be a shortstop.
But he's been playing at third in the minors a little bit.
I know he's
playing
playing
second, third.
I know, but he would be the most valuable at shortstop. You know what I mean? Eventually.
But why would you? If you're going to bring him up, you need a spot from to play.
Didi's been good.
You're not
Gregorius
moving
make
Gregorius.
Yankees fan euphoric.
I know you can't move Gregorius unless you do something crazy and you actually get rid of him at the deadline and
Get rid of who?
Didi.
Are you nuts?
I know that's crazy, but
He's an established shortstop who has the highest
and I know
batting
he's
average
good,
against
and he's
any
a great
lefty.
defensive shortstop. But I'm just
why
saying,
getting rid of him?
because of Gleyber. I mean, I want him to
You don't
play
know how good he's
short.
going to be.
Yeah.
I know,
He
but
just got moved up to
that's why I'm
AAA.
saying you also get rid. Hadley goes to the bench or wherever the fuck, wherever the hell he
Headley
goes.
should go to AAA.
Get
What,
Hadley,
did you tell him to send to North
and then you
Korea?
get and you
what
get
a save.
Moustakas
Tanka.
too. You know, you replace.
What a save.
Oh my God!
That was some
What a
rush.
flurry!
Listen, I just
2-1 Nashville.
I think everything has to be rotation based because I don't even. Can you really even trust Pineda? I mean, sometimes he looks amazing. Sometimes he looks like a complete mess, like
trust
he's a
Severino
head
more than
case out
Pineda.
there. Severino has really
to just turn
been
it around.
fantastic. But and then you still have problems with Sabathia, and Montgomery's been more than you could ever expect. But
Yeah,
these are question marks.
I know.
There's a lot of
Montgomery's
exceeding
the best guy.
expectations type people.
Montgomery's
Wow,
a
what a
question
save!
Can I just tell you Chase Headley's home run totals for a second?
He
2008.
had 35 one year.
9, 12, 11, 4, 31, 13,
31.
13, 7, 6, 11, 14. He didn't juice. He didn't do steroids.
No, he didn't.
RBI
probably.
totals 38,
He got
64,
lucky.
58, 44,
He had a great
115,
year.
50, 49, 32, 17, 62, 51.
Stinks.
He got lucky. He
Yeah.
stinks.
I know.
The Yankees
but that
gave-
year, he didn't take steroids.
You don't get lucky
'Cause
for
you don't-
31 and
but you don't take
115.
steroids and have one good year and then that's it.
Yeah, then you get off him.
You get off now? Okay, fine.
You cycle.
Well, we got to move on
You
anyway.
get off
sorry, I
steroids, and you get off the Yankees.
He
'cause what,
came
we
in
gotta talk
fifth in the
about,
MVP voting.
There he
voting.
is, Mr.
There he is,
Mess.
guys. There he is.
Mr. Mess, as we have it here on
Mr. Mets.
Bridgeside.
Clever boy.
Mr. Mets. We're in alliteration mode. Tanaka's troubles, Mr. Mets mess.
Yes, alliteration.
Is there anything you have to say about that?
about Mr. Met?
Yeah.
Doesn't just fit.
I mean-
is there any other in all sports? Is there any other mascot you would think would flip off the crowd? that there could be a scandal about the
what
mascot.
about the Philly guy?
Come on, it's funny, man. People.
That was
need
a great graphic. Can you put that graphic back up? That was fantastic.
People
but
need to have a sense of
What
humor
graphic?
with this stuff.
I could see it over
Paul
there.
put up a great graphic.
You know,
I
when I even heard this guy got fired, it's like, seriously, come on. I mean, I
well,
understand.
I understand him getting
He
fired.
should get fired.
But
yeah.
it's like,
He's giving fingers to little
You're a
kids.
mascot.
but nobody
You're a
knows which one it is. That's the thing. There's four
Oh,
Mr. Mets.
he
Nobody
knows.
This photo does not stick with the branding of Coca-Cola Company.
Look at this.
listen, speaking as a former mascot, because when I interned with the
Former Mets.
Yeah, he was a former mascot. He was a mascot in Albany.
I was an intern.
The Albany
Yes, I
River
was.
Rats. The
I was
River
with the
Rats.
Albany River Rats.
The River
That was
Rats.
minor league.
So I had
I'm
to.
sorry, wait. The team name is the River Rats?
Yes,
Yeah.
the Albany
Albany
River
River
Rats.
Rats.
And he was a River Rat. He was the River Rat.
Horrible
So
team
first of all, there
You
was
in a rat
a
costume?
mascot. I wasn't the guy that went on the ice because he had to skate and stuff. God forbid if they put me in that and put me on the ice. But like I had to go. I remember I had to go to like an event at a school, and I had to put this thing on, and it was like 90 degrees, and I'm
Sweating
walking
bullets.
around, and I mean, listen, it's not an easy job. It's not a fun job, and this guy, listen. you can't do anything wrong because everything these days is on. Everybody's got their camera out.
You're right.
So
why did he do it
in
anyway?
a second? Don't tell me that mascots in the past haven't flipped off people. Okay, probably happened daily,
millions of times.
All right.
First, wait, Chris, can you just hold up to your camera my Mr. Met doll and see what type of shape he is on that close?
Wynn's doing it. Oh,
no, on your camera, Chris.
All right.
All right.
He's in bad shape. He's got. I think he's got a piss stain over here on the left side.
I think it's a coffee stain.
He's got no foot.
He's missing a foot.
What happened to his
hanging
foot?
off by a thread.
He looks like Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump.
Look at his eyes.
His
His eyes.
His eye has like
It's got
somebody
sewn
sewed his
back on
eyes
you.
together.
Lieutenant Dan.
Terrible. This is exactly what it would look like right now.
This is
Yeah,
the state of the Mets.
bad. I don't even.
That would be an
look at-
upgrade
yeah.
from Cespedes.
Put it back for me.
One last time. The picture.
Can you get the River Rat mascot up
The
there
River
so
Rat.
you can see?
The River Rat. Hold on.
Oh man.
So, but
Mike
But
was
the
really
bottom line
torn
is
about that.
you're in the thing.
flip
And
someone off, man. That's it. Don't flip someone off.
you're in there to make everybody
Must have
laugh.
said
And
something messed
there was a
up.
bunch
I
of guys.
understand.
They were probably saying something and like
Something
it's
stupid,
just,
yeah.
but it's just the day and age. It's very sad
do
that you
agree
can't
that-
do anything these days.
Oh, here we go.
You're done.
It says
agree with that.
fans says Mr. Met showered with profane heckles before the bird flip.
So he was getting abused. You're a mascot. What do you expect?
Getting
people
abused. Probably so bad though.
It's fun.
But you're a
Probably so bad.
mascot.
I don't know. I might have gave the finger, but I do stupid things.
Who
you know
was
what I
in
mean?
the suit? Was it like an intern or was it somebody with a
They've
high-paying
kept-
job?
They've kept him under wraps.
It was the GM. It was all the same.
All right, so if you care so much, then you got to put a professional in there that makes like $100K, 200K a year.
200K.
200K a year. I'm
If
the
you're
Mets
expecting them
mascot,
to
and I
never
walk
make a
around with no
mistake.
hands. Whatever's
That's
necessary.
You walk around with no hands.
Yeah, and so they don't have to worry about me flipping anybody
I'm sorry. I
off.
thought you said-
Terrible. I mean, it's just
When's
a
Cespedes-
culmination of
when's
what the
Cespedes
Mets
coming back?
season's like right now. Really.
It's funny.
When is Cespedes
People need
coming
to have
back?
a sense of humor.
Anybody
Wait,
know?
he's still not back?
No,
Are you kidding me?
I told you.
You really are
Getting
good.
delayed.
You really were right about the 100-game thing, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Jeez.
Terrible.
What the hell's
He
wrong
had
with this?
I remember he had a setback with his other hamstring in the minor leagues.
He was squatting something like 1,200 pounds in the offseason for like ESPN. Or 900 pounds, something ridiculous, like showing how strong he was, and he pulls a hamstring.
The Albany River Rats?
Yeah, the Albany River
Noah
Rats.
The New
Syndergaard.
Jersey Devils minor league hockey team.
There was always somebody else. No, at the time it was the Carolina Hurricanes. But there was always like different people in the suits. They never washed it. Oh, it was disgusting.
Oh, that's
horrible.
disgusting, dude.
It was
That
horrible.
is horrible.
Well, what about Mats? Is he coming? He should be coming back soon, no?
Starting Saturday or Sunday.
Starting Saturday or Sunday.
That's
What do you think about that?
That's huge for them.
I mean, like, do you think he's going to come back and be good, or is he just going to be another guy?
I hope for
After
that.
all these
I hope
injuries and
that he's
stuff.
going to be good.
I feel like he's gonna come back, pitch for a couple of weeks, and go right back to the DL. That's what I think's gonna happen. I honestly do,
That's
and I feel that in my heart.
He's already
in my
had-
heart. I feel that.
I feel it in my
in my heart.
He's already had Tommy John.
I never believed
I know,
anything.
I know,
So,
but-
I never believed anything more than what you just said.
Seriously, right? I mean, he's definitely gonna come back and just go right back.
How
I
about
don't
in
know.
the Suffolk County Championship game? Him and Stroman pitched against each other as seniors in
Did
high
they?
school.
Where'd you get that info from? Good info.
Both from Long Island.
Are they?
Nice info, bro.
Thanks.
Well,
like-
here's another thing with the Mets, by the way, just because let's talk about
And then we'll move
something
on.
with them.
And we'll move
is
on.
they're starting to bench Reyes. They got benched 3 games in a row.
Yeah,
What I
he's
say?
gonna be
Reyes
sent down.
stunk. He was a dog. And Cespedes wasn't going to play 100 games. That was our second episode.
What about Ahmed Rosario? Is he gonna come up soon?
Terry Collins doesn't even know who that is, actually.
He
Who's that?
should come up.
Who's that?
Jose
I don't
Reyes
know.
back down
I
to
never heard of
190.
him.
If I was, I can't believe he said.
We got a rat.
If I was him, I would honestly. Oh, you got the River Rat?
There
No,
he is.
that's the logo.
Oh.
You got to get the mascot.
The mask. That's the logo.
That's the logo.
It's,
yeah.
it's close enough. We got the point.
Yeah, you get it. You get it. You get it.
Mike was a big-
that's
Mike-
basically what the
Mike was
mascot
dressing up as
uniform
Splinter from
looked
Ninja
like.
Turtles for the most part.
Yeah.
Did you say?
Terry Collins has to do something to salvage his career right here. Like he's got to do something to salvage
do you
his
think
job.
his job's in jeopardy?
Yeah, of course, it's got to be. I mean,
Oh, he goes 3-1,
somewhat.
3-1?
Scored
3-1. Beautiful.
Wow, Nashville.
You guys want to change?
Seven.
You guys want to change your mind?
Absolutely not.
No.
Come on
Pittsburgh
over.
is
Even if I
think
did,
the middle of this table is going to be right in their picks. You guys are going to be very wrong.
imagine you guys are both right about both
Imagine
things.
it's going to happen.
What
Imagine.
do you mean? It's only 2-1 this series.
Yeah, it's
2-2.
3-1 this game. Will be 2 up. They go.
It's
They go
still
to
early.
Pittsburgh. Win. Nashville.
It's only the
in
second
6.
period, and you got still 7 minutes left.
Pittsburgh
We got
in
it.
6, man.
I've seen this movie before. Come on.
Hold and serve.
But yeah, I think Terry Collins should bring Rosario up just to have, get some life to the
I
team
think
and
someone
stuff.
needs to tell Terry Collins about who Rosario is first.
Yeah, I know.
He doesn't know who he is.
Crazy.
I think he's going senile. That guy. He looks lost whenever I see
Anyway,
him.
Paul.
Bring up Keith Hernandez.
Paul, put up. Did anybody answer the question of the night?
Because that's where we're going.
That's where we're going.
The Yankees are a big series. Yankees,
I want to
Red
see.
Sox.
I can't see it right now.
Well, Yankees, Red Sox are coming on tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah, so that leads us
Do you
right
want
to
to
the
host?
question.
Are you having hosting like withdrawals?
No, I'm just trying to. I'm trying
No,
to
he
add
could
some
say that. What's wrong with that?
information,
He could
man.
say whatever
I'm
he
waiting
wants.
for you to present the topic.
I just was going to. I was
You
asking
jumping
him.
the gun.
I was
Chris, do
asking
you
Paul.
appreciate a little help sometimes?
course.
Man, it's tough being over there. You know,
I
you
love
sit
it.
back here, you just criticize guys all the time.
You want me to? I'll host.
I can host. Yeah, I can host all the
I'll
time.
host. You
That's
kidding
all
me?
I do. You kidding me? It's easy.
All day.
Hold on.
I would
All
host,
day.
but I'm just a contributor.
No, you're not anymore. Not
I think
anymore.
you
See your graphics?
No, my graphic got changed.
Cut the two.
Wait, there's nobody that gave a rivalry?
You're a producer now.
Well, that's what the question is.
Still not showing it, but
There
you're a
it is,
producer.
Mike. You like that?
You're a producer analyst. We
I
can't
don't
see
even
it.
know
You're
where
a
I'm
producer
looking.
analyst.
15 TV.
Can I just go back to this for 1 second? Danny
Welcome to the
Milano.
team.
Danny Milano, sure, that's great. Bunch of Yankee tough guys picking on a guy with 4 fingers. He's a miserable mascot to begin with.
So
Let
actually,
the guy
if he
live.
has 4
Guys,
fingers,
guys,
How does he have a middle finger?
How do you know he's
Yeah,
giving the
right,
middle finger?
exactly.
That's right. How do you know he's
true.
giving the middle finger? It's 4
Listen.
fingers.
Why?
This is where the Mr. Met's going to end up in just a couple weeks now.
What do you got for us?
I can't see that.
He doesn't
Paul,
have a middle finger.
Paul, there's something going on. We can't see.
It's
the
too
Yeah, I can't
small.
see
It's too small.
It's
Oh,
too-
he found the
So
red.
you got it?
against the pole in the street.
Paul, you got to
I
zoom
think.
out a little.
That might have been me after I
guys
went to
have
the
computers.
school.
I'm not taking any more requests from you.
It's
You
all
all
right.
have
Okay.
computers. You all can see everything.
Well,
a good
thanks,
point.
Paul, because
My
now we're going to
computer's
go
a
to
dinosaur. All right? Bridgeside Productions got to hook me up with a
Extra
computer.
time rewarded.
extra time rewarded because honestly,
Ding.
we got to go into the QOTN. I don't know if anybody answered on the commentary, but the question is,
This is embarrassing.
what is the best rivalry in sports? It's that simple. What is in all sports? In all of sports.
Well, let's throw out some big ones first. I think obviously we know Yankees Red Sox a big one, right?
yeah.
Of course.
Duke UNC basketball.
Michigan,
Tremendous
Ohio
rivalry.
State,
Michigan Ohio State football.
right?
Right?
College football.
College football. Well, what other football?
I'm saying.
What other
because then
football?
You
There's
got Packers, Bears for
professional
NFL football. That's all.
Yeah.
I was just,
Yeah, I thought you meant like
Canadians,
I
Maple
was
Leafs.
saying college football and professional football.
So I mean, what are the prerequisites
For a great-
the best rivalry? Like, what are you looking for?
That's a good question.
And a
That's a good
rivalry.
question.
All right, I think the first thing you definitely have to talk about, it has to be long standing for it to be in this
So
conversation.
you can't say Golden State Cleveland.
Absolutely not.
Is it even a rivalry yet?
Not
It's
if
a
Cleveland
but
gets
no,
blown
you're not
out.
talking about
No,
epic
no.
rivalries.
Can you
of all
put down
time.
Mr. Met? What are you doing?
I feel
playing
bad for
with
this thing.
Mr.
I'm trying
Matt.
to fix his foot. It's a shame, Paul. I got to buy you. It's the first time.
No,
I'm looking
don't
at
buy
this
him
thing.
in anything.
This is terrible. This is
hell are you talking
embarrassing
about?
as a Met fan. His eye is so
don't buy him
embarrassing.
Absolutely
anything.
filthy.
His foot. I don't even know what to say
And you
about
said
his
you're going to
foot.
fix his foot. What are you going
I
to do to fix his
sew
foot?
it or
What are you gonna
something.
do?
I don't know.
Sew it right now.
And not for nothing, he only has 4 fingers. He's right. How do we know it was a middle finger?
How do we know it's a middle finger?
I guess he
There
just
is no middle
this is the
finger. Oh,
controversy
yes, there
that-
is, because the thumb don't really count.
he could
know.
If the thumb don't count,
I
he
don't
could
know.
actually probably take that to court and say,
I think
"Listen,
he's taking it to
how
court,
do you
and
know
he
I
should.
put up
You're
the
right.
middle finger?"
He should appeal this.
How-
As
he could probably do
wrongful
that.
termination.
Nah, there's still a
If
middle
you're
finger.
listening,
He's got
Mr. Met, we got
Yeah,
your
he
back.
does.
We got you back.
There's still a
No,
middle
we got
finger.
you back.
All right. Can I throw this off the table? I'm sorry.
So
Continue
you
with
got-
the rivalries.
So you got Michigan, Ohio State. We
I
said,
think Cleveland and Golden State is a current rivalry.
yeah, you could say that.
It's current, but it's really not like one of those.
I think.
Oh, we're answering your question, right?
I think long
That would be
withstanding.
great, yeah.
I think long withstanding. I think both teams. It can't just be completely one-sided. I don't think you get much of a rivalry when one. Just
Okay.
one team's always crushing.
That's
the
just
other
called
team.
dominance.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Then there's playoffs. Has
think
to be a
playoffs
big part of the
definitely ratchet it up.
rivalry. Obviously, like a long-standing
And
playoff.
I think it has to
History.
be equal. Not equal, but I think it has to be both sides winning.
That's what I just said.
Right.
Not one-sided. Not dominant.
Yeah, he said that.
I was thinking on Mr.
So you
Matt.
just
I'm
want
sorry.
Stop thinking about
I
Mr.
wasn't.
Matt.
I
What
was
the hell's wrong
really,
with
I
you?
was really thinking about Mr. Matt.
Because you had this blank look when I was looking at you. I was like, one side's got not. You doesn't want to be dominant, so you're just staring. And then you're like, it's got to be equal.
I really was thinking on Mr. Matt. I'm sorry.
That's
It's-
weird.
That poor
That's
thing.
just weird. I'm thinking about Mr.
What
Matt.
mascot has his own song named after?
All right, no.
You
We
got-
can't
Is the
indulge
question
this. We
tonight
can't
on
indulge
mascots or is it on the best
sorry.
rivalry?
Who's the greatest mascot of all time?
We'll save
That's
that
what
for
should
another
be the
week.
question.
Don't no. I like this
I like when
question
the Brewers
tonight.
guy goes down
The
the
River
spot.
Rat.
All right, no,
The
no,
River
River
Rat
Rat.
is the best.
His name is Bernie the Brewer.
Chris,
I mean, we asked
that's unbelievable.
Of course, I watch the Brewers all the time. I love them.
You watched the Brewers.
Yeah, I don't know why. I have MLB Extremes. I watch the Brewers a lot.
Because your player in
Arizona a lot.
Your player in
Yeah,
MLB
my player
The Show
on
was
the
drafted
Show
by the
is
Brewers, so maybe that's why.
So you have other rivalries. You have obviously the Red Sox. You have India versus Pakistan. I'm looking at a list. India versus Pakistan.
In terms of what?
Cricket? I'm going to say cricket, yeah.
He doesn't even know.
Oh, yeah, cricket.
All right, why don't you read these over? We'll talk about some other ones first.
That's the 7th out of the top 100 rivalries of all time. India-Pakistan is
I
number
gotta
7.
say, I never thought we'd talk about India-Pakistan before we talked about Celtics Lakers, which is
Celtics Lakers.
That's before
right
Celtic Lakers.
well, yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, it is.
How about Man U Chelsea? I'm not a big soccer guy.
No, bigger one is Real Madrid, Barcelona.
Barcelona, Real Madrid.
That's a big one.
Redskins, Cowboys.
Knicks and Heat.
Knicks and Heat.
Yeah,
At
but
a time,
nah,
Knicks
Back
and
in
Heat.
the day.
Unless Van Gundy's on morning's
So,
foot.
do you think?
So what's the best current rivalry?
Do you think divisions make a better rivalry? You think a better rivalry could be when it's like you said, Celtics Lakers, not in the same conference.
Right.
I
It's
think
a
it was a
playoff.
huge rivalry, but do you think it missed something because it wasn't in the same division?
I do.
Or do you think it was a little bit better because every time they faced, it was
There was
for all
more
the
on the
rivalries?
line, yeah.
Well, I think it misses something if it doesn't have a lot of games,
I agree.
between them.
Like Yankees Mets, they try to make a rivalry, but they don't play enough. You know what I
No,
mean?
that's not a
What about
It's like a
rivalry.
crosstown.
Blue Jays,
That's a
Rangers
dominance
right now.
once again.
Blue Jays, Rangers.
Well, that's what I was saying, Paul. I was going to say, well, what's the best one right now? That's one of the better ones right now.
Which one?
Is Blue Jays
there's a lot of
Rangers.
there's
Because there's a lot of bad blood.
Yeah, bad blood.
And that's one of the I can't say this word.
Prerequisites.
Yeah, I know the word.
You're struggling with it, though.
Prerequisites is I think the teams have to hate each other. The bad blood makes for a really good, and that's what you see the Yankees play the Red Sox now. It's not the same. There's
But
not as
that
much bad blood.
Do you know the bad blood in India, Pakistan, though?
Oh, forget it.
Bad blood.
Oh man,
Real bad.
Real blood.
I think there's been players
Real
killed
blood will be
on the pitch.
will be.
Who's your
People
favorite
will be-
player on India or Pakistan?
I don't know
Can you
anybody
go to
on
the
this.
rosters and
No,
name
they don't
some
have
players?
that. They don't have that. I'm just looking at a list of rivalries.
What do you mean they don't have that? They have
don't
the
show you.
roster
No, they don't show you the
somewhere.
roster here. Then I gotta go look that up. And that's cricket, dude. Like, come on, cricket.
We don't even know if
Virat
it's cricket.
Kohli is the
what's fun.
look is the batsman is Virat Kohli is the Indian
are-
national team
he a
cricket
hitman?
batsman.
Agassi Sampras.
That's a good rivalry.
Okay,
Well,
Paul's
yeah.
trying
Then
to
you
keep us
get
on
into
track.
individual rivalries. You know,
That's a good rivalry
There's
though.
a whole
Or
other question.
Boris Becker.
These
John
are the only
McEnroe.
crickets I know. I'm sorry.
He's
Boris
been
Becker.
I've been dying.
He's been
to
dying.
do
You
it.
you should give yourself the
There was
crickets
no
'cause that
moment
was
of
such a
silence.
bad
I couldn't
joke.
do it.
Bjorn Borg and John McEnroe. They're making a movie over the rivalry.
Oh,
That was
so
a
we're
big
talking about
rivalry.
individuals too.
Well, you can get into that too. Yeah.
At
Because
one
then you
time
could
it was
talk.
Tiger Woods.
Because then
versus
really
Jack
number
Nicklaus.
one is right here. Frazier Muhammad Ali.
Ah, there we go. That's a really good one.
Go Gotti Ward.
Milano, UNC versus Duke.
Yeah, UNC versus Duke. UNC versus Duke is a huge
Dodgers Giants.
and that one keeps going. That one's and you know what the good thing about
Ali,
UNC
Joe
Duke.
Frazier.
We
Chris
just said
that.
Just said it.
Francesca Bove.
Oh no, I'm looking at different streams
Oh.
right now and a different person.
You know what?
Justin Torres.
We're talking, but honestly, it's Yankees
good.
Red Sox.
I think.
Well, that's to us, right? I mean, definitely
I think
to us.
I think
Yeah.
around. I think in sports it is because there's such a deep history to it, and I'm not just saying that because
There
we're
is a huge-
we're
It starts
Yankees.
with the Babe Ruth
It starts
stuff.
with
Yes.
Babe Ruth trading away the greatest player of all time so he can finance a Broadway show. I mean that right there
And that was a
is
huge
a
thing.
huge thing. And the Yankees going to dominate for so many years, and the Red Sox make the greatest comeback in
Right,
sports
that was
history
sick, yeah.
by beating the Yankees. You know,
And then
so,
it
like, it has
propels them into
everything you
winning their
need.
own championships.
Yeah, exactly. And after breaking the curse, you can't get better than that.
It would be nice to see the rivalry kind of come back because it's been away for a little bit, but it's because
I think it will.
It's because the teams have to be good. You know, that's
the thing.
That's another prerequisite.
Prerequisite.
Is that the teams have to be good? I said it right that time.
Yep.
Well, just
Say
to-
nice and
we're
slow
talk-
and
I agree with that.
articulated.
Talking about
And we
the
know that
equal.
India and Pakistan have both been very good for a long time.
Yes.
Talk
A
about
long
the
one.
equal. The Packers and Bears. We mentioned the Packers.
Oh,
and Bears.
I like the Packers and Bears. That's a big one.
They've met 194 times, including 2 postseason games. The Packers have won 94 games, and the Bears have won 94 games.
Wow.
And they've tied 6
That's
times.
pretty sick.
How does that even happen? What are the odds of that happening?
Well,
So you're talking about
what
back and
about-
forth. And those teams are always most of the time are always good
really
too.
close stuff.
I think the Yankees Red Sox have something like that
Yeah.
too, which is ridiculous. But
What
they're
about
right on the
what about
dot.
another New York rivalry that we have going? Giants Eagles is a big
Giants
one.
Eagles is a big one.
I think anybody in the NFC East is a big rivalry.
I know, but
They
Giants
played for
Eagles
so
really because
long.
it's like
Giants Eagles, Giants
Yeah.
Cowboys.
In football, I think it's much easier to get into these rivalries.
Because in baseball you play all the teams.
Yeah.
But in football you don't. But you always play your division.
Half
twice.
of your
You play one game. Well, you play 2 games versus your division, so that's huge. Yeah, that's what I mean.
The Cowboys Redskins is always a big one.
Cowboys Redskins.
Yeah.
So someone said Muhammad Ali Frazier, Manchester United Liverpool. Okay, I see.
Katie said her fantasy football team versus Paul's. Apparently it's a huge rivalry.
Bruins Canadians.
Yeah, there's some hockey ones. Just to speak the Yankees Red Sox again. I mean, Red Sox are playing well recently. Yankees.
So who do you think's the best rivalry of all time then?
I would say, well, I think the college, when you get into college sports, there's some
always
amazing
bigger in
ones.
college. I feel like it's like really brutal in college sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
You know, people circle like the date.
Yeah, it's like a big deal.
Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah,
huge.
like people circle that date, and you know
the big
that's
house.
everything for them. They go to that game, and it's just it means the world to them. But if you're talking about professional sports, I think you got to say it's still Yankees Red Sox, even though it's lost some.
I think Yankees Red Sox in professional, but in college, I'm going to go college basketball. I'm going to say UNC Duke, and the reason I'm going to say is that because
that might be the big
and I think it's the only one I think it gives Yankees Red Sox a run for its money because we talk about college football is always circling, but those guys always play. UNC Duke always play twice, and then there is the ACC tournament where we're talking about like when the pressure goes a little bit higher, where they play. In the Big Ten, there's not. I mean, I know they just put the championship game. There's not always. They don't always face Michigan and Ohio State. They can't face for the championship,
yeah, they do.
right?
They play, but they play the last game every year.
I know, but they don't play for the championship. I know it's like a de facto championship because whoever wins is going to have to. But Michigan can beat Ohio State and then lose the championship game to like Michigan State or whoever it may be.
Oh, you mean the game
That's
after?
what I'm saying. Yeah,
right.
yeah, that's what I meant. But UNC and Duke, I'm sure they faced many times in the ACC championship game. Mm-hmm. So I think that adds a little bit to it.
But the ACC championship game, I mean, it's big, but it's not, you know.
No,
that's not the end either.
It's not the end either.
It's true. It's true because you still got to go to the NCAA tournament.
And scary, it's not scary,
but also
like
they're like 8 miles
enough,
away from each other. I think that's the biggest
Wake
thing.
Forest, too.
Yeah, I think that the proximity really gets it.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, Duke and UNC have never met in the NCAA tournament.
That's insane. Actually.
Now I don't know if the
you think that's crazy?
That's crazy.
They make it every year, both of them.
You know.
I know, but it's hard to make it to the end.
That's crazy.
But they go deep most of the time.
I know, but what if they're in the same side of the bracket? Everything has to work out perfectly for that to happen.
Right. They can make 2 number 1 seeds, and eventually you'd think that they would face each other.
Not even ones. They never put them in the same bracket.
I know, but
they're never in the
face
East
in the
together.
Final Four eventually, something like that.
It's hard to make. I mean, it's not crazy.
I know it's not hard, but those teams have made it the most.
Yes.
That's what
exactly.
So yours is Yankees, Red Sox. Yours is Yankees, Red Sox. I just want to throw.
I got Yankees, Red Sox.
Oh, I thought you said Duke UNC.
No, I said it's the only one that will get close. I got to go Yankees, Red Sox. India, Pakistan was really up there.
It's really it's top 10.
But we need Betances to like drill. I don't know, somebody to
remember A-Rod.
To wake it back,
taking out Varys.
Wake it back up again. Oh yeah, and Don Zimmer getting tossed on the floor. Remember,
my God.
I've never hated somebody more.
Those games
were
amazing.
That was sick. I want to throw in Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal from tennis.
Yeah,
that's an excellent one. That might be better than Sampras Agassi.
Yeah,
they face each other so much.
I watched a lot of those
unbelievable
finals.
Matches.
Yeah, those matches.
Unbelievable matches.
Yeah, they were amazing. I actually watched a lot of those. I mean, early on, Federer used to beat him, then Nadal started to beat him at the end. But that was going to... I mean, I can't argue with Yankees Red Sox. Like, how could I argue with that?
You know, Yankees Red Sox, the thing also, in like the late 90s, early 2000s, they faced each other in the playoffs so much, too.
Right.
Like during our time.
And then
all the time.
And then,
so not only did you face along the conference in the regular season, then you faced along each other in the playoffs.
And they were epic games.
Yeah.
Bucky Dent, Boone. You know,
Aaron Boone.
It's.
I mean, the Packers-Bears... That's a really good one. That's close, man.
Because that's
close, just but they don't have
engulfed in that rivalry.
Playoff history, I think.
I mean, they've
played, I think, once or twice, but nothing compared to what Yankees Red Sox is.
You know what happened? They've only faced each other in the playoffs.
Well,
I think
it's football.
4 times. That's why. You know.
Yeah.
Also, the Packers and Bears kind of. When the Packers were really good in the 60s, the Bears weren't that good. Then the Bears came up in the 80s, and the Packers were bad.
What about Tiger Woods, Percocet face versus Phil Mickelson?
I'm not putting it there.
That's a rivalry,
What website are you on? I gotta see this website. These lists.
I don't know. I'm all the way up to I got up to like New Zealand Kiwis versus the freaking Australia somethings or whatever. Like I don't know. I'm going real deep. New York Yankees, Mets are on there. Yeah, it's
Yankees,
like 100.
Yankees, Brooklyn Dodgers, and Dodgers.
Giants, Dodgers went from New York to California. That's a huge one. Carried over.
Patriots,
Final
Jets.
word, everybody. Chris.
Yeah.
or let's go around the
final word.
Final word. Mike, who's your final pick?
My final
He
pick?
made his pick.
I said Yankees, Red Sox, but it's just ahead of India, Pakistan.
Win.
Slightly.
You need to fix Mr. Met.
Oh, that's his final word.
No, what's your pick?
He said Yankees, Mets.
No,
We all
Yankees, Red Sox.
Yankees, Red Sox, but I'm very concerned about you, Mr. Met, as a Met fan. Just gonna leave it at that.
Yankees, Red Sox. Can I say Yankees, Red Sox?
How about Paul versus Win?
That's not a rivalry. I dominate you.
No, that's
Fantasy
a
rivalry.
Come on.
That's true.
He's never beaten
That's a
me.
life rivalry, not a fantasy. That's
He's
life.
never- He's never
I'm
beaten
waiting
me. How is it
for
a rivalry?
Oh my God! I'm gonna promote the hell out of that. I can't believe that hasn't happened already. Win versus Paul.
I own
the
you.
douche versus Dipes. Come on.
We should do
Vegas
some,
Diner is
we
closing.
should do some
It still
short
reminded
contest
me
on the show.
It reminded me of
between you
the
and
thing
Paul.
we made that
I'll
time.
think of it. I can't think of it off the top
Maybe
of my
we'll
head.
do like a pick the pros during like football season.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, you want to make it a fantasy thing? I'm saying something else.
I think you guys should physically fight
We'll
each other in some
A boxing
way.
match. We'll give him boxing.
Yeah, I thought that was happening.
I think you'll win.
If he dies,
I think you'll win.
dies.
I think you'll win. Anyway, thanks for joining us. That was our show. I hope you enjoyed. India-Pakistan was voted the #1 rivalry of all time, which, I'm going to have to disagree with that. I say the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears.
India-Pakistan.
But thanks. Tomorrow, check out another Bridgeside live show. Music Studio, it's Kojo Stone tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. Be there. And then, check with us every day, daily, for our 1-minute clips, and every show Monday at 9 o'clock. Thanks for joining us. We out.
Go Bridgeside.